Okay, so it's been 1 week since I've converted over to the dark side, as you would say, and got a 6700K. And I originally put in this motherboard from GIGABYTE. And I already made a couple of videos showing what the issues with this board are. And the issue is sound. Its sound is really shitty because there's no shielding over its audio compartment or audio section of the board. And they have this op amp that you can pull and remove, which, because it's such a large package, it's an 8-pin dip package, and it's right in the center of a really noisy area, it passes all that noise right through. So whenever my graphics card gets powered up in this guy, I can hear it boot up. I checked it with this oscilloscope as well. So I called GIGABYTE, told them about the problem. They were like, yeah, well, whatever, you can just return the board. We tried to build the system and they just kind of gave me a workaround. So I said, okay. So I decided to go with an MSI motherboard this time around. I haven't had the only motherboard manufacturers that I've had in the past are ASRock, Asus, this GIGABYTE board, and well, now this MSI board. So I'm not sure. It has pretty much the same features, same color scheme. The only thing that I don't really like about it is why put a dragon logo on it? Whatever, it's still got the two M.2 slots, two main slots that have an extra piece of metal over them to shield it. But hopefully this audio section is a little bit better. And this time around, because what I was doing before is I was using like microfiber cloths, because there's a lot of shiny metal on my PC and I'm trying to keep any fingerprints off. So every single time I handled something, I would use the microfiber cloth to just wipe it down. And that's not really recommended because it can create a little bit of static charge and a whole bunch of other things. But we're going to use, I went out and got a thing of gloves. This will keep it a lot neater. I have a grounding strap, so don't worry about that. I can actually plug in that grounding strap and not build up a charge on my, my gloves. So let's swap it out and see what it does. Okay, so here's what the board looks like out of its packaging. They're advertising this GDR4 boost, which is whatever. It's got the same, pretty much the same hard points. It's got the audio chipset over here, which you can see where they cut. So here's the cut line. Usually what you do is you separate the grounds, try and reduce noise. Let's see if I can get it to focus a little better. Come on. Shielded. Here, there's no large components here. These are probably the amps right here, but they're a much smaller package than the other one. It's got pretty much the same I/O, except it doesn't have 2 gigabit Ethernet. It only has 1, but it's got 3 displays. I'm not sure how many of the Intel chips it actually supports, but I don't care about that. Got this nice shield over it, and USB 3 spot right there. 8-pin CPU power, no additional power is required. And that's pretty much it. The 2 M.2 slots are there, 2 main slots are here, it's got 1 extra slot here. So it's pretty much an identical board to the other one. It doesn't have as many connections, unfortunately, but whatever, it's gonna suit my needs. I think this board is about $200. So yeah, but one thing that I want to mention that's kind of funny with the 6700K, it has built-in graphics card, which takes up about half the die size. And so with that being said, Intel actually owns the market for graphics as well. They have the most computers running their graphics. So these all-in-one CPUs are probably the most popular type of CPU type there is, because most people don't need a dedicated graphics card. So the only people that actually buy dedicated graphics cards are people that, one, do a lot of forced GL stuff, or play video games, or render things a lot. But most people, for the average Joe, they don't need anything other than for it to play back at the most 4K videos. So just an interesting little factoid. Okay, it's all packaged back together with the new MSI Motherboard 1 niggly little thing. There's a shield, an IO shield on that has a couple of bolts that run through it. And in the instruction manual, it doesn't say or mention this anywhere, so that you're using kind of like a universal manual or something like that. Point is you have to remove those nuts and remove the shield before you can put it in the motherboard because it uses the same mounting holes. So I was trying to figure out why isn't this fitting, and then it's that's the reason. So I guess you can either remove two standoffs, which wouldn't really support the board as well, or remove the nut and bolt assembly and tie it into your standoff. So we'll boot it up and then we'll look at the audio, and should be good. So no more audio issues with the board, which is great. Everything's installed. It was a lot easier this time around because I already had the cable management all set up. I also removed all of my lighting because I had this extra Molex cable in there just to power that up, and now that I have the audio noise dampening on it, I don't really want to see the inside anyway, and it's already got its own red LEDs on the board, so I think it doesn't really need it. Anyway, everything worked out better. So if you're going to get a 6700K and you're thinking about getting like a top-end gaudy gaming board, get the MSI one versus the GIGABYTE one. It's a lot better. Thanks. Bye.